Peace and love for the cat people. I didn't think you left Warwick.
I don't like to leave Warwick unless I have to.
Bananas.
75 yards from shore and come across a great white shark.
75 yards?
He calls himself a Swiftie. Unbelievable. Every single day went and got hot wieners my entire senior year.
Oh, yeah.
You're not even qualified to vote on this.
I want to know what the people think. They're trying to sell the house.
Ding, ding, ding. Winner, chicken dinner. Welcome to Shootin The SHT, real banter with Nick and JT. I'm Nick.
I'm JT. Hello.
How's it going? We have a very special guest here today, Christopher Slocum. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
This is your second appearance on Shootin The SHT.
It sure is. I'm excited.
Last time we had an agenda with Phil to discuss our 75th anniversary, which means you didn't get to talk a lot. So we're excited to have you on here today.
Not very much at all.
No.
As soon as you said we had an agenda, I was like, oh, where's this going?
Well, I'm excited for today. A couple of quick things. Rest in peace to that intro. It's the last time I think we're going to hear it, right?
I know. I'm excited for the new one.
Absolutely. Nate promised it for episode 20, so no pressure.
None at all.
I had some hot wieners actually this weekend with my daughter. So Lily had something up with Ann. She was out on Saturday night. And I'm sitting around with Lucy, and I'm like, hey, let's DoorDash something for dinner. Nothing really available to cook or whatnot. So I was like, hey, you want calientes? You want this or that? What do you feel like? You want pizza? I was like going through the app. I'm like, you want hot wieners? And she goes, yeah, I want hot wieners. I was like, you sure you want hot wieners? She goes, like hot dogs? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, absolutely. So I order Oneyville to come on DoorDash. Got her 2 plain. She had the smallest nibble. I mean, it was like a millimeter of that hot wiener. I don't like it. Put it down. It was
Really?
like blasphemy.
Wow.
My own daughter. Couldn't believe it. But I had 3 all the way. They were fantastic.
How does that feel?
It was a little heartbreaking, but Angela and Lily ate them when they got home. So,
Were you heartbroken when she said hot dogs?
well, I mean, I have to explain it to her if I don't take her. I took Lily out a lot for hot wieners because her old dance studio, or actually her current dance studio, was right next to Wienerama, rest in peace,
Okay.
as well. When that was open, we'd stop there all the time. But it's closed recently, and when Lucy kind of came up in that age, I haven't had the same experience of like picking her up on Saturday afternoons at the dance studio next to Wienerama. So
I feel like more weekends than not, I hear something about, so on Saturday, I stopped for hot wieners.
I've been on a little run. It's been a little run. So it was a while. I mean, it might have been almost a year, and I've had them like 3 times, I think, in the last month and a half. So don't be jelly.
I'm a little jelly.
All right, let's get rolling. So introduction.
Big week for you this week.
It is a big week for me this week. I am counting down the days in my 30s. I only have 3 or 4 days left until I'm over the hill. We had this debate the other night. You didn't think I was over the hill.
No. I thought over there was 50, but with the way you live, you might be. If you're having wieners that often. Just doing the calculations in my head.
Let's see here. According to Gemini,
Halfway to 80.
the average life expectancy for men in the United States of America is 74.8 years old. I believe that makes me over the hill. I have been for a
you'll
while.
pass that.
actually.
Yeah, I mean that's well past halfway.
So I have been over the hill, and I'm on the downward trend now, unfortunately. So, yes, big 4-0 on Thursday, I think it is. So
Awesome. Well, I'm rooting for you, pal. You're going to
Thanks.
pass that 74 mark.
you guys put together a lovely little office night of the boys taking me out to celebrate on Friday night. Thank you both very much. Nate was there as well. Thank you for your attendance.
Of course. Thanks
I
for
had a
having me.
great time. It was a lovely evening.
Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
we enjoyed putting it together.
Absolutely.
appreciate
I know
it.
John enjoyed himself.
I did. I had a great time celebrating my guy. Good food, Top Golf.
A nap.
Little nap.
Nice night.
John caught up on the hour of sleep that we lost the next night, that night, because he got a little tired at the end of the night. That happens, So
what else is going on for your 40th?
So we had a nice night. We had a nice little dinner at La Masseria, a nice early dinner. That was fantastic. I thought I had a lovely meal. How was your meals?
Oh, it's
gentlemen?
great.
Very good.
Yeah?
Very good.
What were the selections?
I had duck breasts.
Did
it was
you really?
Perfect.
Really?
It was perfect.
Wow.
Yes.
I do not speak Italian, so I don't know what the name of the dish was, but I had a pasta with some different kinds of meats in there. It was delicious.
Very nice. Like a bolognese? Or was it-
No, it wasn't a bolognese. It was not quite as. It wasn't like a meat sauce. It was like sausage and veal and stuff.
I think like 6 people at our table had that. I saw like big cuts of sausage in it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
delicious.
The apps were good too, huh? That burrata with the prosciutto. Oh my goodness. So good.
Calamari.
So good.
Calamari.
Calamari was good.
Calamari.
Yeah.
Calamari, yeah.
Little cheese board.
I love that place. Great place. I enjoyed it. It was lovely. So
Yeah. What'd you have?
I had bone-in veal parmesan.
Well,
It was very good, as did you.
I did.
We split a nice bottle of Barolo. It was a lovely meal.
Wonderful. Great night.
Yes, it is. Then we went to Top Golf.
Yeah.
Had a nice outing there. Hit some of those little white nuggets, and had a good time.
Some better than others.
And then next weekend you're off.
What?
For,
There was one more stop.
Oh, yeah.
And we went to the cigar bar after
Yeah.
that to call it an evening. Anything you want to share about that stop? Or
It was a great time.
it was.
Hung out, nice conversation, cigar,
It
drink.
was late.
It was
so-
lovely.
good nightcap.
It was late.
It
It
was.
was. It was a great way to end
Yeah,
the
it was like
evening.
almost midnight, right?
It was.
It was. Yeah. We're almost 40. That's late.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It would be a reasonable time to fall asleep.
I would typically am asleep long before then. So yeah, that was a lovely evening. Thanks, boys. I appreciate it. So
You bet. Great time.
excellent. So next on the intro, John had a little office swap, little swinging here at the office.
Yeah, you took one for the team 2 weeks ago, where we decided that the ISA team needed their own headquarters. They had to be working together, so they took my old office, logical place for them. And then you took one for the team. You went to the small office closet for the time being, and I am now residing in what was your office.
It is true. I am in a small closet now. Can't wait to come out of the closet in the future again at some point.
Couple
it came
months.
out really wrong. Have to cut that. Yep. So yeah, no, I'm excited. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But the nicest thing about my small office now is that I am in between two of my favorite people in the entire world. My cousin Christopher, who is a guest on our podcast here today, and my father Phil. So it is Slocum Row over there, and it's very exciting to be amongst their presence.
It really is Slocum Row. You go down that hallway, and it's just a Slocum door, one after the other.
It is.
I'll speak for myself. I love having you over there. I think it's great.
It's fantastic.
Aw, that's really nice.
Aw. Do we have touching music over there?
No.
All right. Anyways,
I'm sure Nate misses me though. I mean, come on, your days have to be nowhere near as enjoyable as they used to be, right? I mean, you got John next to you. You guys feud all the time.
that's not
Actually,
true.
we've grown a lot closer since
Have you?
since he's been over here. Yeah.
I miss the hell out of you, but Nate and I are good. We
Nate's
have
like,
no
thank
issues.
God you're gone.
No,
That's not true.
It's fine. I mean, yeah, no, it's all good. It's kind of indistinguishable. You guys both mostly just do work in your office, so I could pop on over to your side of the office if I want to be depressed. But
You haven't yet, though.
yeah, no, it's just a very small room with no windows,
It
so
is.
I kind
It
of
is.
try and stay on my end
I have a vitamin D deficiency already.
You
so,
do. You look very
yes,
pale.
Thank you.
in a good way.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll fix
Like
that
a
next
vampire.
week. Heading out of town,
Like a
North
s-
Carolina.
Handsome vampire.
That'll help.
North Carolina. So yeah, we got a little trip planned, leaving out with some friends Sunday. Play some golf, and the long range forecast looks lovely.
Wonderful.
Low 70s, sunshine. The last day I'm there, it says a high of 79, which sounds amazing.
That does sound nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm ready for some of that.
I can't wait. I'm just really excited.
It's gonna be nice here too. We're getting like high 50s the next week or two. But
is.
yeah, I'm excited for you. Can't
Thanks.
wait to hear about the trip.
Next up on your intro, on this little wild intro all over the place, is some NFL free agency. As of this recording, it is 10:06 a.m. on Monday, which is the start of the legal tampering period.
An hour and 54 minutes.
Yes, I believe they have a new name for that, though, now. It's no longer the legal tampering period. I heard this on sports radio this morning. Something about negotiation period. I guess illegal tampering was a bit of an oxymoron. So, or legal tampering was an oxymoron. So,
Hadn't heard
is that right, Nate?
That all sounds right to me, guys.
Thanks, Nate. So yes, Harold Landry signed last night.
He did. He was allowed to sign early.
Yep, because he was released. So I think that was a good start. Hopefully they get some people in. But honestly, all the big superstars kind of have already been re-upped, franchise tagged, re-signed. It's really not it's
Light class this year.
slim pickings when you get all this cap space.
Pats
So,
have a lot to do. I'm setting myself up for disappointment, just being a Pats fan the last few years, but hopefully I'm wrong.
I agree with you. So any thoughts, Chris, before we move on?
Well, that's a fair way to feel. I tend to think the same thing.
I hope Millen Williams. That's kind of the one I'm really hoping for.
I want him and Harold Landry would be a good 1-2 upgrade on defense.
Honestly, not a huge fan of Godwin. I mean, it's an upgrade, obviously, but if we get him big money for short term, I'd be fine with it. But I don't want to give him like 4 or 5 years.
No, I like him, but he's going to be hurt.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't have a good past. I wanted Metcalf last night. That was disappointing. They have to do something there.
Yeah.
May needs a toy to throw to. I don't know.
Well, Travis Hunter action.
Travis Hunter would be great. I don't know if he's going to slide, though.
And I'd love to have someone
He's
else.
projected 4 anyway, isn't he?
Well, it's all about if 2 QBs go in the first 3, that's what we need to happen. I don't see it. I think Shador is sliding.
He could.
Yeah. Anyway, the final point of our intro, a little bit of a...
We had a troll.
We didn't have a troll. We had one of our avid listeners, one of our longtime listeners chime in with a comment.
That wasn't a long time listener.
We had a first-time caller, long-time listener chime in with a comment on YouTube Shorts. So, obviously... We're not Joe Rogan or anything like that yet. Certainly that's our plan, but we don't get a ton of comments. One of the main benefits is people do listen, people do comment on it. People say, "Oh, I listen to your pod. It's a great topic." Yada yada yada. But anyway, we don't get a ton of comments. Whether that be on YouTube, on Instagram, certainly on TikTok. Feel free to change. TikTok actually gets the most comments. Actually, now that I say that, but YouTube Shorts, we had a comment that happened after Nate released a reel regarding the Arnold Schwarzenegger hypothetical cover on the last podcast, and we had a lovely comment from one person. So
They said, "I am what's wrong with podcasting."
they did. The guy who made this comment, that was John, is exactly what's wrong with podcasting. So what I want to know right now is, A, does our audience agree? Drop it in the comments. Is John what's wrong with podcasting?
Quite the call to action. Huh?
Easy.
Please,
Easy,
I want to
friends.
know, yes or no. I want the people to speak.
Fair.
I would love if people came to your defense.
Fair.
I want to know, is this a common thought amongst our listeners, or was it a one-off? I just don't know.
Can I just add a little bit to this? I also want to know what exactly that means.
What does it mean, do you
I
think?
don't understand what that means, so I want to know.
That was my
Clearly-
second question, actually. So
I'm sorry, I cut
that's
you off.
okay. Nate, what do you think it means? What do you think that comment, or John in general, being what's wrong with podcasting? Why is that?
I think it was kind of a gross generalization, really. A little bit overboard, perhaps.
Clearly,
that
this
you're
person doesn't
everything
like
wrong.
podcasts.
Well, I don't think that's the case. I think they don't like you.
Well, they said I'm what's wrong with podcasting, so they clearly have something against podcasts.
I actually responded to
No,
his
that's
comment asking,
that's
why
not
does he
the
say
leap
that?
you would make. What does that
Yes.
mean? Does he mean that you're just like insufferable, essentially? And if that's
Do
the
you
case,
think I'm insufferable?
no. If that's the case, should we roast John? Should we do a roast of John? That might get big numbers. You know what I mean?
Don't we do that every other Monday morning when we shoot the podcast?
Yeah, but we need like an official version of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
happens more frequently than that, I feel like.
I would say
Apparently,
more.
he's a rapper.
Oh God.
Pestilence, the rapper,
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a very reputable.
178. He said the guy who said you're dead is the problem with podcasts, and I said what makes him the problem? Question mark with no response. I was excited to see what he had to say.
You guys had a great time with that on Friday.
What does it mean? What does it mean, dude?
It means that I am what's wrong with podcasts.
I have so much I could say, but I've been told to cut the idle chit chat out. So
No, you can.
no,
Feel
I was
free.
no,
Let
I was
it
told
Share your thoughts.
Let it
podcasts
fly.
are too long. Blah, blah,
Share
blah.
your
No,
thoughts.
let it fly.
Hey,
This
let's
is
hear
the
it.
important part of the podcast.
This is the important
We
part.
need to know.
No, I thought that the sports stuff was really engaging, so I don't want to. I want to go off on a tangent. No, I just thought it was very strange, and also Pestilence the rapper is not the type of guy that you should be taking advice from anyway. So don't take it to heart, buddy. Keep
Appreciate
doing what
that,
you
pal.
do.
Thanks.
I hope Pestilence the rapper has subscribed to us on Apple, Spotify.
Oh, we'll absolutely
And
take
YouTube.
his subscription. Don't get us
Absolutely.
wrong. Yeah, no. Please like, share, subscribe. And we might have a Patreon one day. You might want to sign up to that. Until then, keep commenting.
Anyway, let's jump in. Recent article from Resi Club, Lance Lambert, indicated 9 long-term housing trends that will shape not only Rhode Island's real estate market, but the nation's real estate market here in the future. First long-term housing trend is household sizes are shrinking. Delayed life events, falling birth rates, aging population. Are you seeing that here in Rhode Island too, John?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something I've talked a lot about this with friends and family over the years, but hadn't tied it back to real estate in the same way. But it's true. You think about when I was younger, like I have cousins and family that are mid 40s, call it. And when they were growing up, they were getting married and buying houses early to mid 20s. And now so many people that I graduated high school with and our call it generation, it's all mid 30s, everything's more delayed. So you're seeing delayed life events. People are getting married later. People are having kids later, or not as many people are having kids. And that is certainly having an impact on the market.
The average age of a first-time buyer last year was 38 years old, according to the National Association of Realtors. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Talk about the hill. I mean, they're buying their first house after the hill. So that's wild. So also, Lance had a chart, and it's a little bit difficult to get the exact number, but the percentage of households that had 2 people alone looks like it has risen from 1960 around 40% to around 50-ish.
I think that's a little higher than 50%.
On the chart, you're looking at the chart too? Yeah, it might be. It might be closer to 60. The percentage of households with 3 people, just under 60 back in 1960. That's actually going up too.
Probably close to 70.
Yep.
Yeah. And so that leads to more demand for condos, townhouses, and smaller houses.
Absolutely. Next trend, slower U.S. population growth equals less housing demand. Over the past 15 years, the U.S. Census Bureau has repeatedly lowered its population projections. The latest forecast predicts 361 million Americans in 2050, which is 80 million fewer than originally projected.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
So the growth could reduce the overall
That's the color. It's a lot.
A lot.
I love it.
That growth could reduce the overall demand in the long term, but the situation in Rhode Island is a little bit different than national. So, thanks, Nick, for jumping in there. Why
Ooh, right back at it. It's like ping pong. It's beautiful.
the Boston
Forrest Gump.
spillover?
Conversational ping pong.
I was talking to someone the other day
I
about
love this guy. Really appreciate him. Just a little aside.
So the other day I was
Good.
talking to someone about this. Rhode Island being right in between New York and Boston, people keep getting priced out of those areas. It's like the Rhode Island squeeze. So that makes Rhode Island a bit of an exception there. Keeps
Ooh,
things
the
busy.
Rhode Island squeeze.
You like that?
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna use it?
Absolutely.
It's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
We should run with that.
Remember where you heard it first, boys.
It's better than like cooler and warmer, you know? That should be our
Rhode
slogan.
Island
The
squeeze.
Rhode Island squeeze.
How much? What was offered up for that? Can I get that money?
Yeah, absolutely.
I should.
I'll vouch for
There were
you.
some big bucks there.
I'll give you a reference.
All right. Thanks. All right. Up next, declining. This is weird. Declining fertility rates.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know. It just seems weird for our real estate podcast.
Have more babies.
Okay.
Are you having a third?
No.
No?
Nope.
You broke 2 on this pod. Are you going to break 3 on this pod too?
No.
Wow.
Nope. I
What's-
think Chris is next.
Yes, it's not happening.
I think it's impossible for Chris and I to have babies.
We've taken the proper precautions to make sure that we are where we are.
Yes.
You can reverse that. So what does that mean for Rhode
So
Island?
weird podcast. Declining fertility rates. So not just in the U.S., but globally. You just said that. Let's see here. You going to give color or you want me to?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tee it up and then I'll follow up with the color. So more demand for smaller, low maintenance homes kind of ties into the number one, being the what the hell was the number one?
This is what happens. This is what happens when I don't make goofy
Household
commentary,
sizes are
you know what I
shrinking.
mean?
That's what I was going to touch
Let
on.
them take the
No,
lead.
you've been quiet today.
Yeah, I'm trying to let you guys take the lead.
Wow. You're a valued member of this podcast.
Oh, I know. I was told that the podcasts are too long, so I wanted to cut down on
wow.
idle
You got
chit
really
chat.
offended to that.
No,
didn't
no,
you?
no, no, no. I'm just trying to make sure this is expedited and quick. I'm letting you guys take up the airtime.
He's
You're doing
taking
great.
offense to the comments of a
No,
shorter
you're doing,
podcast.
You're doing so great. It's going to be like an emergency podcast, nice and quick.
He is
Nate,
so against
When I
this.
said it'd be great to have a shorter podcast, it didn't have anything to do with the fact that we didn't want you to talk.
Oh, okay. All right. No, you guys are doing great. I just don't want to interrupt.
We want your input.
2.1, is that the replacement? Is
What?
that the replacement ratio for a baby? 2.1. 2.1 babies, right? I think I've
I
heard
don't
that,
know.
right? 2.1 children.
Sure.
Because back in the day, what used to happen is the infant mortality rate was so high.
We're gonna go there.
Well, that's
Jesus.
the case. So what you see is in developed countries, the theory is that the wealthier you get, the less children you have, right? Because you have access to contraception and that kind of thing. But also on the reverse side, because the wage disparity is so high, you're having people in the middle who can't afford to have children. So you have this wide-ranging availability of contraception. I think 2.1 is the replacement ratio for children, right? Is that correct?
It's not on here, but I've heard that before. I
Yeah.
believe, yeah.
So the point one being like if a child passes away, which used to happen all the time. So I think that you're going to see that continue as the wage gap expands, which is kind of unfortunately a result of a lot of things. Reaganomics was a really big problem, actually. It started off as pretty promising in the 80s, and then you saw that as more and more people started to hoard wealth towards the top, it didn't really quite trickle down to us. So once I get, if you guys could like, share, subscribe, and we could get another sponsor, I could afford to have children. So please, please. I'd like to help with this huge population problem we're seeing, but I
Are we negotiating a sponsorship into your pay structure?
yes, and to my child's life structure.
Okay.
Who can sponsor our podcast?
Oh,
They're dead to me. I appreciate Polar. Still a loyal customer, but
did we appreciate them?
I could
No.
be bought by LaCroix in a heartbeat.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, what did we say? We said the lime was kind of better quality in general, right?
Absolutely, especially the kiwi lime.
You like the key lime?
I like that's
Or
right, not the
key
kiwi,
lime.
the key lime.
Yeah,
Sorry, my
yeah.
apologies.
A
I just
kiwi.
think that the LaCroix seltzer segment sounds really good on every podcast basis.
There you
I
go.
can tell you the only seltzer that I will not accept as a sponsor of this podcast is the one that Eric brought us recently. to
Those
try.
were weird.
It was disgusting.
What was the name of it? Do you remember?
I don't know, but it was like
you almost don't
it's
want to
not
like rip
worth
into
it. Yeah, it's
them.
not worth
was
it.
it like Anthony's or something weird like that?
Definitely wasn't Anthony's, but let's just leave it there.
It was weird.
Yeah, let's get back to talking about declining birth rates.
Oh.
That's fun.
So tying into all of this, next up is that new homes are getting smaller, which makes a lot of sense.
I don't feel like that's the case here locally, to be honest with you, but I guess nationally, home builders have started to shrink home sizes in response to changing buyer demand and affordability challenges. I feel like there's so much red tape and expense here locally to put up a new construction household that it's actually the opposite. They're throwing up these McMansions and they're selling. So why would they put up something smaller when their profit margins are probably so much larger on these bigger homes?
That's true. I don't think it's as drastic as you think, though, because if you look around, I've seen a lot of developments lately where it is the colonials. It's not a small ranch. It's not a 1,000 square foot ranch, but the colonials are 1,700 and 1,800 square feet as opposed to 3,000, 3,500, 4,000 square feet. A lot of builders are also building a ton of raised ranches, which people outside the Northeast are like, what the hell is a raised ranch? But a lot of builders build that. Those are the most cost-effective things for them to build. So next up, remodeling is becoming a bigger focus. People are moving less and remodeling and making their house everything they want it to be.
I can certainly sympathize with this one.
I
Yeah,
can
for
as
sure.
well.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Gracious. I just feel like contractors are at my house every single day. It's crazy. I actually had somebody tell me that recently. They're like, every time I drive by your house, there's a contractor there. I'm like, I wish it was all for fun. But it's not. Sometimes it's because your daughters don't close the shower door all the way and a water leak goes down into your kitchen ceiling. And, oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's avoidable.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah. Apparently, they were saying that the shower door over a tub is not the best idea anyway. It's
Yeah.
prone for leaking. So yeah, I had that happen apparently over some time, and just recently had to put a new bathroom in and replace a bathroom that was replaced 7 or 8 years ago.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Ain't that a kick in the
Sorry, pal.
It is. Some remodels are fun, some not so much. That was one of the not so much ones.
Next, the baby boomer sell-off will accelerate.
Nate doesn't agree with this. It does say by 2035 there will be 9.2 million fewer baby boomer homeowners, according to Freddie Mac, as boomers age and move out of their homes. This will create new inventory, but it won't happen all at once.
Yeah.
Is it going to be the silver tsunami?
The silver tsunami.
I think we're still going to be waiting a while, but there are a lot
I
of people
agree.
out there waiting for the silver tsunami.
There are.
They're
Yeah.
gonna clutch it until they're cold and dead.
Next trend that's going to shape the housing market here going forward, and I can't wait to get his thoughts on it, is rising home insurance costs are a growing problem. The median annual U.S. home insurance premium rose 33% between 2020 and 2023, and Rhode Island is certainly feeling the impact.
That's lower than I would have guessed,
Yeah,
actually.
that's my take too. That's it.
The median.
I'm shocked because that's not what I'm seeing.
No, I mean, certainly here, actually on this chart, I can probably find out exactly the 3-year change in Providence. 3-year change in median annual home insurance premium by county in Rhode Island, specifically according to this data. Which the source is the National Bureau. Why am I struggling with that word? Say the National Bureau of Economic Research. Kent County insurance change between 2020 and 2023, 20.5% on the median homeowners insurance. Washington County, only 9.1%. Providence County up 13.4%. Bristol County up 13.1%. Newport County up 15.2%.
These numbers are kind of surprising to me that they're not higher. However, if I'm thinking about the time frame, 2020 to 2023, I guess that makes sense. I'd be interested to see what they think happened from 23 to 24. That would be my question, because I feel like you'd see a much larger number for 23 to 24.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they haven't compiled that.
Yeah, they probably don't have that yet.
All right. So the last two on here, not really relevant in Rhode Island, is build-to-rent communities, where they're building entire communities of single-family homes specifically to rent.
I'm not seeing that.
Nope. And lastly is the large home builders keep expanding their market share, which we see some of around here.
What do you guys know about private investors buying single family homes? Is this as big of a thing as people say it is?
Not locally.
Not here, but I just mean in our country.
Certainly, yeah. Sun Belt states and things along those lines, it is much more common. And then rewind the clock 3 or 4 years, iBuyers were a big segment of the market. I don't want to say.
What's an iBuyer? What is that?
So institutional buyers. So like Zillow was buying homes at one point, Open Door, companies like
really?
that. And
Okay.
then essentially turning them over. So they'd pay cash up front, purchase the home, maybe put in some light renovations to it, and then relist the home pretty quickly. And it wasn't a very profitable business for them, especially as the market started to change a little bit. And that's when things tended to certainly slow down in that arena. Zillow went out of it altogether for the time being. So yeah, that was how that all played out.
And what about like so these were renting these houses out?
No, they were buying them and
Buying
selling them again.
Because there's a
flipping
lot
them,
of what I've heard. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but I've heard there's a lot of private investors buying single family homes and developments and renting them and hiking up the rent for
It's
a profit.
actually a great seg into our next topic.
Oh, really?
I'm
Okay.
not sure if you intended
I haven't
that
even
or
looked
not.
I haven't looked at the agenda.
So the next topic, Providence named the least affordable U.S. city for renters in the entire country.
Whoa.
The entire country.
That's crazy.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This was a study from Redfin that came out last week. Let's see what they have to say here. So, least affordable market in the country, according to Redfin. The findings place Providence ahead of notoriously expensive. What's up?
What's that?
Sounded like there was a sound like.
Why are you gonna disrupt me? I was
Sorry.
on a roll.
He really was.
I think we should start over. I keep trying to warn you that we're gonna have to put the tracker on.
I'm on
You had a lot of them in that last little run of yours.
Go yourself.
I'm trying to give you a heads up. You said we need to
come
watch it. I'm trying to help you out here.
Providence, Rhode Island is the least affordable city in the entire country
Wow.
to
That's
rent it.
terrible.
Right here in
rent
Little
it.
Rhodey.
How
The
do I
least
have something for
affordable. The findings place Providence ahead of notoriously expensive cities like Miami, New York, LA, Boston, highlighting a significant change here in the Ocean State. So here's how they came up with this number. Do you have any guesses, Nate?
I'm guessing because of lack of inventory would be a thing, and
I mean,
the
certainly
amount of
probably something to do
people
with it.
cloistered into a very small state.
So the way they did it, actually, go ahead, Nate. Chris.
I was going to say, I go down a very different road, actually. I bet it's based on income versus the cost of living. So that's just my 2 cents.
Winner, winner, chicken
Hey,
dinner.
all right.
They're both-
Ding, ding, ding.
They're both right, actually.
It is,
That
but my
minor in
next-
economics right there for you.
Yes. With a median asking rent,
We're giggling in our corner.
a median asking rents of $2,145, renters in Providence needed to earn $85,800 annually to comfortably afford housing. However, the median income for renters in the city is only $50,408, creating a 41.3% affordability gap. So that gap between the median income and the income needed to afford the median asking rent is what places Providence as the least affordable U.S. city for renting.
That makes sense.
Providence
Sorry, go ahead.
is 35% higher than the U.S. average median rent.
Is it really?
Jesus. Wow.
So why is renting in Providence so expensive? What are the alternatives for renters?
They could buy a home, invest in their future.
So they can't afford to rent. They're not going to be able to afford to buy a home.
honestly, the
maybe.
average rent-
Not always true.
Not always. Not always. Yeah.
I mean, look at the median rent. It's $2,145.
But I'm saying, in order to even accrue enough money to save, figured they're making how much money? What's the median wage?
50,408.
Is the median wage?
Yes.
That's single.
That's in
person.
Providence.
So if they have to, and then the average cost of a house is how much?
450.
475 ish,
Okay,
469 ish.
So how many years do they have to work up to make even 10%?
Well, that
of
is
that
the
down payment?
median. So, I mean, that is the middle. So there are less.
There's people who make a
affordable.
lot less money than that.
No, I meant on the home value.
houses that are less affordable.
You could look for a condo. You could look for a multi and rent out one unit. There's a lot of different scenarios that
You could stay with
people
your
could've.
you stay with your parents for longer. That's what I'm seeing. Is people who are living with their parents for longer.
Well,
and
that's how
saving money.
you get the average first-time homebuyer age up to 38.
Right.
In our earlier conversations, people are delaying these life events. They're getting married later. They're having kids later. They're buying homes later.
Less avocado toast, kids. That's a big, big problem. Is you kids are spending way too much money on avocado
it always
toast.
goes back to the avocado toast.
I
I
know.
like avocado toast. I could go for some avocado toast right now.
It's overrated.
What?
You don't like
So,
avocados.
anyways,
You don't like avocados?
The
No,
reasoning.
he likes hot dogs and peanut butter and jelly.
That's why your cholesterol's high, buddy.
Oh boy.
The reasoning, the four key reasons here are supply and demand imbalance, wage growth not keeping up, lack of new affordable housing, and rent increases outpacing the national trends.
But the next topic had to do with around homeowners insurance, but I think we kind of already touched upon that a little bit. So I was going to say, let's skip over that topic
Yeah,
and
let's-
get right into our interview with Chris Slocum.
Let's roll.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's
Are you
roll.
sweating over there?
Yes.
Are you really?
Can't you see it on my bald head?
I can,
It's
yeah.
shining.
Interview with Chris Slocum.
We're going to get a few of those today.
We certainly need to cut up the facial expressions of Nate Dogg when he was
We
working that soundboard. All right, Chris Slocum, guest of honor. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
First thing is happy anniversary. Today is year number 2 of the happiest 2 years of your life.
Happy
Absolutely.
anniversary.
Hey, all right. Happy anniversary to
Big
Chris.
gift. Thank you, gentlemen. I
2 years flew by.
He's
I
like,
think your wedding was the last wedding I went to.
Yeah, I don't know that I've been to one since my own.
I don't think I have either. Last year? I don't know. We're at the age of divorces, not really weddings. What?
This goes back to delayed life events.
Exactly.
No one's getting married anymore. So
No, we're over the hill now.
I do wedding photography, so I go to.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Very nice.
it's nice to see. It's always nice. Weddings are always fun.
Nate got roasted the other day. I forget who it was in
wouldn't-
here. But he said something about, these people wanted me to do their wedding. It might have been Jacob was like, they wanted you to photograph their wedding. Remember that?
That was a crazy roast.
So, John, since you wrote
Really
these
got me that time.
questions,
Go yourself.
Whoa!
you guys gonna fight today?
It's not my fault. It didn't go off as planned.
I thought I was offended for you. I defended you in the moment.
I didn't need defense. It's fine.
Okay. Anyways, Chris,
yes.
first insurance question.
Oh, here we go.
What is your secret to maintaining such a stellar head of hair?
It's a good diet. Good diet and exercise.
Why are you so mean?
Yeah, really. Like I don't
No, that was good.
understand
That was
what
like
that
you
was all about. Now I get what Pestilence was talking about.
Don't side with Pestilence. Pestilence the rapper.
Pestilence the rapper. You have to say the whole thing.
Oh, sorry, Pestilence the rapper. I apologize.
Chris, what should buyers and their agents be looking for as they go through homes, touring homes out there in the market regarding things that could impact a buyer's homeowner's insurance?
When it comes to the homeowner's insurance, look at the main systems of the house. Look at the guts of the house, right? Look at the roof, the heating system, electrical system, plumbing. Those things are really important when it comes to your insurance.
What do insurance companies look for in regards to those systems?
They want them mostly to be replaced in the last 15 years.
Okay.
The newer, the better.
Okay.
You have something over 20 years old on most of those things, you're going to
Probably
have
gonna
a
be an
hard
issue.
time getting insurance on your home.
Now, a lot of people think that if something is over 20 years old, there's going to be higher rates with those companies. Is that actually the fact?
It plays a role in your rate. However, generally speaking, what it's going to do is limit your availability in the number of different companies you can get a quote from, which could in turn increase your cost.
Going to have to go to the fair plan.
You could go to the fair plan.
I love it. That's going to be a good reel. Cut that puppy up. Clip it.
Chris,
We'll do.
when buyers are beginning their buying and their home search process, what should they know and be thinking about in regards to homeowners insurance?
I land on those first couple of things first and foremost, but from an exterior standpoint, you want to make sure you're covered properly. Be looking for overhanging tree limbs, those kinds of things outside the house. The biggest thing to me is be thinking about making sure you're covered properly. You know, I mean, your mortgage broker is liable to tell you a certain amount for insurance. You might want to verify with an insurance professional first.
They have gotten better on that, although still not great. But for a while, they did not really experience or feel the increases that we were seeing in homeowners insurance in quoting these numbers that was not attainable anymore.
Yeah,
So,
it's tough.
yeah. Excellent. Chris, can you explain the difference to me between a captive agent and an independent insurance agent?
So a captive agent only sells one product. They sell one carrier. So they don't have a whole lot to work with. They give you what they have, and that's that.
What are some examples of captive agents?
So examples of captive agents would be your Allstate, Geico, those kinds of carriers. They only.
So if I call an Allstate agent, I'm only getting Allstate
you're
quotes,
only getting Allstate quotes.
which could be good. Allstate's, okay.
Yeah, from a coverage standpoint, there are a couple of things there. If anyone out there's listening wants to give me a ring, I'll give you what those are. We won't get too in depth and detailed with it today.
Nice.
But
spit that
but
fire.
for independent agents,
Pestilence the rapper will be proud. Spit it.
hey, you know, I got the lyrics. Anyway, independent agents, we represent a number of different companies. We've got about 8 or 10 carriers that we represent. We go out, we look to all these other carriers, we try to come up with the best coverage, best premiums, and go over that with clients. We educate the clients on multiple different policies from multiple different carriers.
Because there are differences.
Oh yeah, absolutely differences from one carrier to the next and one policy to the next.
Great advice.
Cool. I didn't know that. Thanks for dropping some knowledge.
Now you know.
See money.
All about that knowledge. Chris, what's the weirdest insurance claim you've ever seen?
Weirdest. I don't know that I've actually faced any real weird things lately. Nothing that comes really to mind. I would say one of the worst types of claims is a backup claim. You know, where the sewers back up into the house. You want to make sure that's one of those most important things on your homeowner's insurance policy. So there's that.
He's a cartoon character.
What's in that? What is in that coffee?
This is a chocolate almond flavor of the day from Felicia's, one of my favorite coffee establishments in the entire.
I'm so sorry, Chris.
Yeah, seriously. Not only could I hardly hear Chris because the ice was rattling in my
and
ear.
slurping, and then he was staring at the coffee. Stanky. Stanky.
Well, I was thinking about the sewer backup. That was
Yeah,
stanky,
I
but
know.
I mean, this coffee stinks delicious.
Stanks delicious.
Chris,
My rap name.
Chris, I
Stanks
appreciate
delicious.
your response.
You're welcome.
Pestilence the rapper should team up with Stanks Delicious. It'd be a hella fire album.
Oh man,
This is
it's so good. Yes.
That's all I can hear.
I love Felicia's.
It
If
was a
insurance commercials were honest, Chris, what would they actually say? If it was, what's the guy from Liberty? The Mayhem?
Liberty Bibbity.
Yeah, if Mayhem, if the Lizard, if Flo, if they were honest, what would they say?
They would tell you that 90% of the insurance policies out there cover exactly what they're telling you. If you're not doing this, you might not have the right coverage.
Will I actually save 15% in 15 minutes?
Probably not.
Is this the only company that bundles insurance together?
Absolutely not. You save
you
money
bundle?
with multiple? Oh, we could absolutely bundle.
Tell us about your best bundle.
It's a bundle of joy.
oh boy.
That was sweet. They didn't like that because it
No,
was
they did not.
sincere.
It was sincere.
One of your cameras just flicked off. You hear that?
Yeah.
The beep beep.
Yep.
I'll check on it. You guys keep talking.
Chris, what's the one totally bizarre thing that people could insure, but they usually don't think about?
Oh boy. I will tell you the weirdest thing I've been requested of was gold bars.
Gold bars.
We have an insured who decided that he would prefer to be in a safer, more stable place with his finances and decided to invest in gold bars. Unfortunately for him, that is a very wild thing to try to insure.
Were you able to?
Isn't the point of getting gold the value of the gold itself?
Yes, right. Exactly. Yep, exactly. It's more stable than say the stock market.
But yeah,
which
you want to
fluctuates.
insure. Okay.
So he wanted to insure.
That's like asking if I can insure my bank. I guess the FDIC
It is
does
insured.
that.
The FDIC does that, to a certain amount.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. The long story short is I could not find anyone that wanted to do that for someone who had gold bars. I did some extensive searching, and I could not find anyone that we were appointed with that would do that.
John is wondering if he can insure his antique Nerf football collection.
His antique Nerf football collection. Did you get an appraisal on these Nerf footballs?
Not yet.
I would suggest you do that.
Okay.
Because that is the only way that you're going to find any way to get the value back on them.
I think it's probably around 12,000. Could you find me coverage?
I'm glad that you just pulled that number out of thin air. At that number without an appraisal, no, I can't find you coverage.
I do need to insure my golf clubs, seriously speaking here.
We should probably add those to your policy. I would think that would be a reasonable thing to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I'd prefer to get those scheduled in the policy. Maybe before I leave for my trip on Sunday.
we can manage.
Okay.
We'll connect after the podcast for
Thank
that.
you.
Connect off
Reasonable
there.
rates. How much do you think my golf bag will cost me to insure?
Oh, I can't imagine it'll be very expensive.
Okay.
So, what's
So
the
is
value
it-
of the golf bag?
All together, like all the clubs in the bag, you're looking like $4,000 probably.
Not very expensive, probably $100 or so.
Okay, let's get it done. All right, let's see here. What's the worst mistake people make when shopping for insurance, Chris?
Shopping based on price,
Just price?
just on price alone.
Why is price so important?
Price is important. I understand as a consumer that has a budget as well. However, if you're just shopping on price, you could be cutting some serious corners with regards to coverage.
So I should pay more to talk to you?
I would say that you don't necessarily have to pay more to talk to me.
Ooh.
You can probably pay the same or less.
Maybe.
It's all a matter of coming and giving me an opportunity to review everything for you. But things like deductibles could have an impact on the cost. So if you're just looking based on numbers, on cost out of pocket, you could probably have a $10,000 deductible on your policy. And
How much did you save me for getting me those little water meter detection things?
water leak detector and the low temp monitor, we saved you $150 a year.
And they cost me like $13 on Amazon, right?
Well, I
I did the same thing.
I think on yours it saved a little bit more than that. I just added them. I just added them at the house and updated your policy for you. It cost us I think $30 between two water leak detectors and a low temperature monitor, and it saved you $150 on your dwelling fire policy.
It's better than you. These are the kind of things you can share with people.
Yeah.
Go to Amazon, get this little water detector thingy, majiggy.
And the bigger thing than what it saves you on your homeowner's insurance policy is a massive headache if your hot water heater's letting go.
Believe that.
Chris, what's the most heartwarming insurance claim story you've dealt with?
Most heartwarming. Here he goes with the ice again.
It's already stirred.
He's aerating.
I just smell it like that wine on Friday. Cut that.
Oh, yeah, we don't want people to know you drink wine.
Oh, that wine was good.
It was good.
Chris, I'm sorry.
That's all right. What was the question again?
The most heartwarming insurance claim story that you've dealt with.
I don't know how heartwarming it is, but I can tell you being there for somebody in the right moment or at a really bad time for them is kind of a big deal for us. Just a couple years ago, we had a family have a house fire a couple days before Christmas, and got to go over there the morning after the fire because we were made aware of it first thing in the morning. So I swung by there and just letting them know that everything was going to be all right, and we're going to be right there alongside them, giving them as much information as we can to help them through. That to me is the big thing. As an insurance agent, we can sell policies all day, but the time to be there for our clients at claim time. So,
It's where you can shine, right?
yep,
I'd say that's probably a benefit of an independent agent.
yep.
You don't
Somebody
think
local.
mayhem shows up at the time of a fire?
Now something tells me he's not
Maybe,
there.
but I'm going to guess Chris is probably going to be there more often.
I agree.
Chris, what is on your socks today?
I have Darth Vader on my socks today.
Have you seen that movie?
He's a good leader.
How have you not seen?
All right, so Chris,
He hasn't seen Star
if
Wars.
Chris from 10...
This is my question.
Go
I
ahead.
got Darth Vader.
Go ahead.
Nice.
That's
You
all right.
asked a few in a row.
You're running with it. Go.
Dope.
Chris,
I have Darth Vader underwear on right now. I think
You do?
I might.
Very cool.
Yeah. No, actually, I have Ursula on today. Actually.
You have Ursula
Yeah.
from The Little Mermaid? I have so many questions. Do you have only villain themed underwear?
It's a Me Undies theme. Yeah. So I have Darth Vader. I have Ursula.
Oh, you do the MeUndies.
Yeah.
Why
That's
do you
fun.
have-
You're a sucker for subscription stuff, huh? It's fun. They're fun.
Little Mermaid on your underwear.
I don't have Little Mermaid. I have Ursula.
He has that.
I have the Sea Witch.
That thick
Chris.
sea witch.
Chris, if you from 10 years ago had to sell insurance to Chris today, what's the pitch?
Make sure you have the right liability insurance in place. You got some situations where a young driver is getting his license. Smart move to get yourself an umbrella policy.
Oh yeah.
Right on.
Chris, if my wife drops her engagement ring in, let's just say, the pool in Disney in April when I'm down there, and it's just gone, diamond gone. Yep. What are the odds of that being covered?
It all depends. Did you schedule it? Just like we were talking about your golf clubs. I know you're thinking about scheduling the golf clubs. Did you
Of course I
schedule
did.
your wife's ring?
I did, because I have a great insurance agent.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. You are a good insurance agent as well. I'll give you that.
Nate, he was patting himself on the back.
Yes, he was, and that's it's okay. He did a good job with it. He added the ring. He did the right thing because yes, the mysterious disappearance of Angela losing her ring in the pool will be covered to the agreed value or replacement cost, whichever's lower.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
For those that don't know, John and I are both licensed in insurance as well. So the only non-licensed person in insurance in this room is Nate Dogg. So Nate should be asking these questions.
Hi, y'all.
We're
Chris,
licensed in both real estate and insurance.
Chris, if my pet parrot flies away and
Humble
doesn't
brag.
come back, what are the chances I'm getting paid?
So short answer for you, John. Just for you, no, you're not. I mean, unless you were getting paid to lose your parrot, your insurance policy's not gonna cover you there.
Not going to react to the pet parrot that flies away. That's too bad.
Bummer.
All right, here's one that we run across all the time. My neighbor's tree. It's half dead. That thing's rotted. It's gross. They won't take it down. It falls. It's my house. Their policy pays, right?
No,
No? My neighbor's not responsible for that dead tree?
no, they're not. Not unless you can prove
Is it an
that
act of
they
God?
knew. Exactly. Not unless you can prove they knew that the tree was dead. They were told the tree was dead, and they ignored it anyway.
Okay.
So you gotta build the proof. The burden of proof is on you to prove they knew
So even if the tree's healthy as a horse and that tree falls over
and hit your house.
and hits my house, they're not responsible?
It's on your policy. It is, as Nate said, an act of God.
Wow.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter that the stump, the tree originated from their property?
Nope.
Doesn't matter if it's hickory or cedar
They did
or-
not push that tree over.
A dogwood?
No.
No?
No.
A maple?
No.
Pine, ash.
Bamboo? Nope. None of it.
All right, Chris,
John.
Sycamore.
what if on Thanksgiving
Redwood?
I
That would
take
be
a
dangerous.
That would be that would take out the whole neighborhood.
I take a nice 20-pound bird out of the freezer
Not what I thought you were gonna
and
say.
try to deep fry it and accidentally burn my house down. Will I get paid?
Well, that happened to you last year, John, didn't it?
Thankfully not.
Well, no. Yes, John. That would definitely be covered. The insurance policy doesn't exclude that.
What doesn't it exclude?
It doesn't exclude stupidity. I know that this happened on your back patio. Glad nothing actually happened to the house, but it does not exclude stupidity.
I have a question.
Yes.
Quick question. So, sometimes it can like rain animals and stuff. You've heard this,
rain
right? Like storms, like
cats and
frogs. like-
dogs?
yeah.
Dogs? Okay.
Well, not really cats and dogs, I don't think, but like frogs and fish and stuff that's been known to happen.
In the Bible?
No, like it happens in real life. So,
What?
yeah. There's like storm currents that carry in like amphibious life, and sometimes it's been known to rain frogs and fish and stuff. That was the thing that's happened. So if it rains fish and your like car gets damaged, could you call that an act of COD?
An act of COD.
Oh my God.
That was bad.
That was so bad. The guy,
There was a really long.
props to himself. Yeah, I'm so funny. My
Chris.
You may continue.
If my Roomba knocks over a priceless vase, does my insurance cover that? Does it care?
Well, you tell me, Nick. Was your vase scheduled?
The vase was not scheduled.
was not
but I think it was
scheduled?
worth like 10 G's.
So I appreciate that vase was worth 10 G's. It probably should have been scheduled on your policy, Nick. However, your homeowner's insurance policy is most likely going to go ahead and get you a new vase. One of the ones that you can go out and actually replace, but they're not going to pay $10,000.
not?
They'll get you something.
Even though I have replacement cost contents?
Even though you have replacement cost contents, they will go out and get you something similar, but it won't be the $10,000.
kind.
That's why you needed to schedule it, Nick. That's why you needed to schedule that.
Good
item.
advice. Good advice. All right, Chris, we're back. As is tradition on this pod, we ask our guests various acronyms about real estate. And now you have a bit of an unfair advantage as you have your real estate license. It isn't our referral company nowadays, but you have had your license since 2006 or 7.
Give or take, yeah, one or the other. I'm sure it's one of those years.
So you do have an above average knowledge of the real estate industry. So we're not going to go easy on you here today.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready to learn some stuff.
We'll start easy, but then we're going to go a little bit more difficult. I think, what is the record for the most acronyms guessed correctly?
Correct.
2? 2 out of 5?
I was gonna say it was like
1 or 2?
2 to 4. I think it's 2.
I think it's 2.
Someone got 2.
Okay. Was that Billy Allman that got 2?
Might have been.
Might have been. All right, Chris, let's start easy. DTI.
DTI? Debt to income ratio.
Correct.
Yeah, debt to
1
income.
for 1.
There we go, yeah.
1 for 1.
Ding ding ding.
All right, I'm going to give you another layup before I totally eviscerate you.
He's gonna let you tie the record.
GCI.
Gross commission income.
All right, you can tie
job.
the record. Let's give him a
All
little round of applause.
Ooh, yeah.
2 for 2.
Here we go. Now destroy me. Let's go.
Burr.
Burr.
BRRRR.
How many R's?
4.
4
R's.
R's.
BRRRR.
I would love to know what burr means.
Even I have to
Buy.
slow it down.
Rehab. Rent. Refinance. Repeat.
That was cold.
2 for 3. 2 for 3. 2 for 3. All right. Tick.
That was cold.
Tick. TIC.
Tick. I got nothing.
Another name for
Yeah, let's teach me some.
I'll give you a hint. It's the way somebody might own a property.
The way in which someone.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I have some ideas in my head, but I'm not going to be even close. So
Tenants in common.
tenants in common.
All right. So
Are
2
you gonna
for
give him
4.
a shot to break the record here?
I'll give him a shot. It's a hard one. OPM.
OPM.
It's a way in which another investment strategy. This is under the category of investment and advanced acronyms. Harder ones to stump him. OPM.
So he's not really giving you a shot.
No, he's really. Not.
It's an actual acronym. It's
I
a hard
believe
one.
that.
I'll let him tie the record, but he's going to earn it. He wants
All
to
right,
be the record holder.
How about this? You give me the first word.
Other.
Oh God. I was thinking we were going in totally.
I thought so too.
All right, go ahead.
Other people's money.
Invest other people's money.
Yep.
Classic.
All right. That was a good one.
Not
All right.
bad.
Yeah. Good job, Chris.
Thank you.
I can't believe you had
appreciate
two
the
ones
two
that don't
toss-ups.
exist.
Tied for the lead. Yeah. All-time tiebreaker there. We'll have to figure something
right.
out. All right. Hypothetical questions.
Wild card.
Wild card. Now, in light of having an insurance professional here on the pod beyond you and I, figured it's a good time to include a insurance-related hypothetical question. And Nate's like, this sucks. What are you doing? Would you rather get a $1 million life insurance payout today or wait and guarantee a $3 million payout to your heirs when you die?
Oh boy, I'd have to put a really, really good investment together to get it to $3 million before they see it. So this is a matter of selfishness, is what I'm being asked. I guess I'd probably hold off.
You'd hold off?
Yeah, I'd hold off.
I'd take it.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you go first.
I'd take it. Now, my personal, it's a lot of ums there. My personal take on this is that I buy life insurance. My strategy is to get me through those years where my kids are at home. We have a mortgage. We're going to pay for college, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, it's a gamble, but I would rather take the $1 million now, use that to hopefully invest, make even more money, improve the quality of life and everything that we have, and take the gamble that I can hopefully keep kicking until Lucy's out of college. You know,
Keep kicking.
Yeah. I mean, we got about 15-year gamble here that I got to get through. So
You could also take some of the $1 million. This is another thought that I picked up on when you reference this. You could also take the $1 million and reinvest some of that into a $3 million life insurance policy.
Whoa.
that's a great take right there.
Hashtag talk to Chris.
Well, that's the best strategy I've heard.
I don't know how you.
How do you argue this?
Even if
there was no caveat in there.
even
You
if
couldn't do that.
even if that option was off the table, I would take it as well, and I wouldn't go living it up right now. I would take the whole thing.
You go to Disney
And-
7 times a year, right?
No, I would invest it in real estate in hopes that when I kick the bucket, there is at least 3 million, hopefully more, sitting there in real estate that they can sell off for money as needed, whether it be for college or anything else in life. College, paying off the current house, all those things.
Well, maybe it wasn't as good of a hypothetical question as I thought it was. But Nate, what's your take?
No, I was going to say the same thing. Even if you took some of that million, put it in an index fund or a Roth IRA and let compound interest work for you, you'd be doing all right.
So everyone says, except for Chris's original take, give me the loot.
Yeah, kind of reinvest it and give me the loot.
Who's saying it?
Number two.
Notorious B.I.G.
And didn't say anything.
I didn't either.
He conveyed more with a look that time.
That's right.
Yeah.
A look countered with a
Are
look.
you asking the second question? or am I?
Number 2. Would you rather permanently stay on daylight savings time, an extra evening light, or standard time and have brighter mornings?
give me sunsets to watch after work. I don't like driving home in the dark.
Ooh. Yeah. Sunsets. Ooh, sunsets.
Is that his answer?
I think probably
That
going
was
to
Nate for everybody
do.
who's listening to the audio version only.
Oh, Nick made a poopy. I'm going to
He lost it.
take early. That's just like a boring question. I'm going to take early mornings. Early mornings.
It's a timely question.
I'm sorry. I know. Yeah, I'm going to take early mornings because I because I like waking up and having the sun up, and I wake up early to go work out. Get my,
So we have one
Buns and
evening
thighs.
hours, one early. John?
Me before you?
Sure, I'll go first if you want. You asked the question, you can go last.
Okay.
Can I give a little caveat of keeping it the same as we have it now and rolling the clocks forward and back?
no,
I thought that
Why?
was
you
one
have
of
to
the
pick
answers.
one or the other. Or this is not hypothetical.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you meant like permanently stay, as you see all the people online proposing, or keep it the way it is now.
No, standard time is not what the way it is now. Like, so I was going to always say I want to stay on that, but the more I think about it, it's hard to get out of bed when it's pitch black in the
I agree.
mornings.
I totally
It is
agree.
tough.
That's the worst
Like,
part for
it
me.
is.
Yeah.
It's cold. It's dark.
Yeah.
I'm like leaving at like 5:30, and I just like want to get back in bed. It's awful.
It'd be dark until like 8 or 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it messes with your circadian
Yeah,
rhythm.
it's not
It's
safe
like,
for the kids either. Getting to school,
I don't care
bus
about the
stops. Yeah, we know you want to kill them already. So
Remember,
I don't want to kill
you
him.
said that earlier.
remember when
No.
we were in Texas in the fall? It was like October.
Yeah.
And we went down for breakfast. It was like 7:30, and it was pitch black.
It's
We were
weird.
like, what the hell is going on?
Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I could do that.
Um,
I'll keep it.
I
Let's
would-
roll forward and back.
I would agree. I feel like it's the minority opinion. All these people are outraged online. They just want to leave it instead of going back and forth. I like going back and forth.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
it's-
with you.
I'm a fan.
The problem is that a lot of people complain about is they've done multiple studies where they show an instance in upticks of heart attacks and strokes the days after daylight savings.
How does it mess with people that bad?
It's their circadian rhythm. You're having to reset your body's clock. So there's a there was a study done in Wisconsin that showed there was a 21% increase in heart attacks the 2 days after daylight savings time.
Have you watched Suits?
No. Oh, yeah, a couple episodes.
Is he like Mike Ross? Does he have a photographic memory where he just
I
retains?
definitely
He
don't.
does have a lot of strange facts up there, or he's really good at just like making it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
could
was it
be.
really
You're not fact checking me.
21%? Like,
Right.
he remembered, like, exactly. It was
I
20.
read it.
I
It's
saw a
21%.
It wasn't like generalized, like, oh, there was an increase in heart attacks in Wisconsin based on the site. No, 21%.
I did.
I could include
I
the
saw
article.
a tweet last night about like New York hospitals bracing for a rise in heart attacks due to it, and it blew my mind. Like, I don't.
So you have seen that though.
I didn't see the exact percentage.
Well, he probably didn't really give two shits, but Nate like internalized that.
Sorry.
I scrolled past it. I was like, no, I'm looking for football news. Nate's like, what percentage?
Well, that's why the world's getting dumber because people like you who watch football and don't give
You've been the meanest bird of all time.
I'm sorry. You got people
I'm
who
what's
like,
wrong
"I'd
with
rather watch
podcasts. The
football."
world's getting dumber
Dumber.
because of people like me.
Well, I'm just saying you watch a lot of reality TV. Just saying.
Wow. Shots fired.
Whatever.
All right, last hypothetical. I kind of like this question. Nate's going to hate it because Nick came up with it.
Come on. Why do you say that?
Would you rather plant a massive garden that requires daily maintenance or be stuck shoveling snow until June?
What do you mean by stuck shoveling snow until June?
Like, let's just say you get one snowstorm a week until June.
Okay.
Shovelable.
Shovelable.
And you don't have anyone to
Plowable.
plow it.
No, you got to get out there. Either the snowblower's fine. You got to deal with it in some fashion.
I'm shoveling until June.
I'm going with the snow. No. It's a tough one. I go back and forth. So if there's shovelable snow until June, that means I can't like do any summer activities until
Right. It's
June.
winter.
Give me the garden.
So hold on. I say plant
takes
a
issue.
massive garden over snow, and you go, you would? It's so much maintenance. And
I
then
came
you
around.
agree.
I talked it out.
Okay.
You thought about it.
I'm proud of you.
You change an opinion. I used to do landscaping, so I quite like tending a garden. I think
you?
it's very, I agree with John. It's very therapeutic. It's nice. Good
Sorry,
housekeeping.
my hypotheticals didn't live up to your standards, Nate. I apologize.
Oh, come on. No, you did good.
Thanks.
I should say ChatGPT, you're really good.
All right. John, what do we got rolling? We got some new agents onboarding right now. What's happening with that?
We do. We have 3 new agents right now they're starting week 2 today of our 2-week boot camp for new agents. Has about 20 courses right now in person, as well as an online library. Really working on their craft and learning the industry at a fast pace. One of them actually, shout out to him, View. Friday was the end of week 1. Part of their process is they have to shadow open houses their first weekend. He attended an open house yesterday, met a wonderful buyer, and I believe they're here in the office right now going through a buyer consultation and meeting with a lender. Shout out to Shootin, sponsor of our podcast.
Thank you, Shore and Bank. So yeah, that's awesome. So our goal with this whole onboarding boot camp is to get these agents up and running fast, trained, and having a deal under contract within how many days?
30.
Let's do it. Let's roll. I'm excited. I'm overhearing a lot of it in my new office over there on the other side of the building since it's right near the conference room. And these 3 guys that we have in there right now are just absolutely eating it up, and I'm excited to see their careers flourish.
Absolutely. All right, Nate Dogg.
What are some of your favorite classes that you've taught so far?
My favorite 2, can I give 2?
Sure.
My favorite 2 are offers and acceptance. It's the fundamentals of writing a basic offer, but also tips and tricks on how to stand out in a competitive situation, but also being curious and asking the right questions to make sure you're not just recklessly throwing everything at it and being competitive if you don't have to. You know, if there's a chance to negotiate, let's find that out as well.
Kind of like we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I taught 2 last week. I had a deep dive into the purchase and sales agreement along with one on agency. So definitely very important topics, and I think they went well, but I'm excited for the ones I have this week. Lead generation, love lead generation.
Yep.
I also have business planning going on.
You like
and
that one?
I'm excited for it. It's a new one, actually, that we're rolling out for this. So
Yeah.
I think I have another one. And we're doing live open houses and showing
You
training.
should be excited for that one.
I am.
My second favorite one that I teach is what to expect when they're inspecting.
Ooh.
Kind of prepping the expectations before the home inspection, starting from your first meeting with the buyer, prepping them on what's involved in a home inspection, what to expect, get it? And then following up afterward, post-inspection, going through the report, reviewing what are the biggest items and how to negotiate those and put our buyers in a good spot when it comes to closing day. So I really enjoy those 2. He could give 2 what I'm saying.
I heard you, John. It was very good. I
heard
agree.
You. I was letting you roll.
You're slurping on the last bit of your coffee right in the microphone.
Thought I was being pretty discreet,
I
actually.
love their dynamic.
You were very discreet. I don't know what he saw.
All right, next up, we're going to wrap this pod. Let's take some votes on the next 3 movies that John should watch. We got to roll it back to like 80s, 90s. Are we going full Star Wars? Are we doing E.T., Die Hard? We did that one already. The Terminator, Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Goonies, Back to the Future.
Has he not seen any of these?
Dead Poet
So
Society.
we should do let's do 80s action. So let's do
Full Metal Jacket.
Well, that would ruin him. Let's do 3 80s action movies. So can we do? Have you seen Rocky?
I think I have, but it's been
You
a long time.
think
You think you've seen Rocky?
It's
Okay,
like-
Rocky. Put Rocky on
It's
there.
like Forrest Gump. It was a long time ago.
The Terminator.
Ooh.
Terminator 2 is arguably better, but you know,
And
Want to go First Blood? Raiders of the Lost Ark. Have you seen that?
that's one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah, we should probably add that
What
on.
year did that come out? 83 or something?
81.
81. Dude, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's fun, and I think he'd enjoy it. You've never seen any Indiana Jones movies, John?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. We're gonna fix it.
I've
Great.
seen Indiana Jones and Disney.
Okay, that's enough. All right, let's rate the podcast.
Oh, 9-1. I thought that was a good one. I
Yeah,
enjoyed that.
cool. Nice.
I'm gonna give it a 9.2.
Ooh.
Wow.
You went up
Wait,
to
Nick
me.
said 9-1.
Yeah.
Wow. What was Chris?
9.2. We're creeping up here.
Nate?
A 7.5.
Why?
I thought it was okay. I'm just being honest. I thought it was okay.
Wow.
What are you going to turn into?
Huh?
What are you going to turn into?
Probably a 9.2.
Oh.
Nate's usually pretty high, and I'm usually pretty low.
Yeah.
Okay, this one must suck then.
No. Yeah, your intuition's probably good.
I'm going to go 8-2.
Oh, that's
Why?
I'm going to say good stuff, but it was a
Why?
little scattered.
Was it?
I feel like we were pretty scattered.
I thought we were like pretty much stayed on the money the entire time. I tried not to go off too much.
A lot of tangents.
About what?
But the
Insurance? You're an
podcast
insurance
is
guy.
called Shooting the S. All right, guys, thank you so much. Before I actually lose my patience, so
Please let us know in the comments if John is what's wrong with podcasting.
I'm beginning to think it's true.
I want to know why.
Please like, share.
We
Yeah.
love him, but he might be what's wrong with podcasting. I'm not sure.
Too many tangents, too much fun. So please like, share, subscribe. We're on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Thank you to Shore and Bank once again for sponsoring us, and we are out.
That's a wrap on
Hasta
today's
la vista,
episode of Shootin
baby.
The SHT. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. And if you enjoyed this content, please share it with others and leave us a rating and a review. Buying, selling, or want to connect with Nick and JT? Visit Slocum Home Team on Facebook and Instagram or slocumhometeam.com. We'll see you next time.